If you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel in 2026, especially in retirement or midlife, this isn't going to be the pep talk you may be looking for. Everyone online is saying, just start, post consistently, and YouTube is a good passive income. Well, that can be true, but let's pause for a minute. Here's what people aren't telling you. There are over 500 hours of video uploaded to YouTube every minute. That's 30,000 hours every hour and 720,000 hours every single day. Let that sink in, because that's the competition you'll be walking into. Did you know that 90% of channels never reach 1,000 subscribers? Which is exactly what you need to even think about getting monetized. And only 3% of those channels ever reach 10,000 subscribers. So if you think this is going to be quick or easy, it's probably not. But don't click away yet. There's more to this story. Stick with me for a bit more. A lot of people, especially in midlife and retirement, are looking at YouTube and thinking, this could be a fun hobby. This could keep my brain active. This could bring me a little extra money. And it can do some of those things. But the landscape in 2026 is going to be very different than it used to be. So let me tell you why you probably shouldn't start a YouTube channel in 2026. First, it will take over more of your life than you think. You don't just make videos, you become the writer, the editor, the tech support person, the thumbnail designer, the data analyst, and sometimes your own therapist. Most creators spend 4 to 8 hours per video, and beginners easily spend 10 hours just learning the software. Editing alone can take 3 to 6 times longer than it takes to film. And yes, learning DaVinci Resolve or Premiere at 60 builds patience and character. If you're retired and thinking, I finally have free time, YouTube has a funny way of quietly filling it back up. Second, this is not going to be a get-rich-quick thing at all. I need to say that clearly. YouTube is not fast money. It's not easy money. And for most people, it's barely any money for a long time. To even qualify for monetization, you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. That alone can often take creators a year or two to get to. And when you finally get monetized, let's say this clearly. Most creators never make meaningful money. Fewer than 10% of channels ever reach monetization, like I said. Of those, the average AdSense payout is often between $100 and $300 a month. Many creators work for years before seeing consistent income. For a lot of people, monetization feels like pushing a huge boulder up a hill and sometimes it rolling right back down on top of you. To make it cost-worthy, many creators build multiple income streams besides the AdSense, such as affiliates, memberships, Patreon, sponsorships, and courses. But that comes after persistence and patience. If your goal is fast cash, YouTube will disappoint you greatly. Third, the low effort era is over. There used to be this time when you can turn on your webcam, talk, and upload and grow. I believe that time is long gone. Viewers today are used to good lighting, clear sound, tight editing, not because they're picky, but because they're used to Netflix level content. So now starting YouTube also means learning editing software, audio fixes, thumbnails, titles, and the works. And if you're starting later in life like me, that learning curve can feel very steep. Not impossible, but real. That alone is enough to make a lot of people quit early in their journey. Fourth, YouTube is incredibly saturated. This number still blows my mind. Like I mentioned earlier, over 500 hours of video are uploaded every minute. Every minute of every day. That means your thoughtful, heartfelt video is up against AI-generated channels pumping out 10 to 20 videos per day. Celebrities and brands with full production teams. Channels with private equity backing and massive budgets. Good content alone won't cut it anymore. You have to learn packaging, thumbnails, titles, engagement tricks, which is a skill all in its own. So now it's not just about what you say, it's about how you package it all up. And learning that takes time and emotional energy. Fifth, the algorithm does not care that you're new. There's this thing people don't warn you about called zero view prison. I've experienced it. You upload a video, you're proud of it, and then nothing. No views, no comments, no feedback, just silence. And that silence can mess with your head, especially if you've come to YouTube to make connections and get engagement. And now you're just competing against AI-generated channels that can upload dozens of videos in a day. It's a very different playing field. And I think you need to be aware of that. Sixth, some viewers will be mean. Most people are kind, but the few who aren't, they stick in your head. Someone will criticize your age, your hair, your glasses, your clothes, your voice, your weight, your opinions. And then there are those that are just so inappropriate with their comments. And even when you tell yourself, don't take it personally, it gets in your head. It still lands. You have to build emotional boundaries, and that takes time. 7, you're not just competing with people anymore. Like I said, a lot of channels that look small and cozy, they're owned by companies. They're with big teams and with budgets. Those big channels have big dollars supporting them. So if you're filming at your kitchen table or a small room like me, it can feel unfair. And honestly, sometimes it is. So after all of that, you'd be forgiven for thinking I'm about to say, run, don't do this, save yourself. But here's the thing. If YouTube were truly that terrible, people wouldn't keep starting channels. And more importantly, they wouldn't keep going. Because something incredible happens once you get past the expectations, past the money talk, past the algorithm anxiety. You stop asking, is this worth it? And you start asking a very different question. Is this giving me something I didn't even know I needed? And that is where the story changes. Not in the flashy ways, not in a viral overnight way, but in a quiet, surprising, oh, this actually matters kind of way. So let's talk about why, despite everything I just mentioned, you still might want to start a YouTube channel let's move to a comfier spot to talk about why you might want to start a YouTube channel this year. This is the part that no one can quantify because the human side really matters. Even with AI, algorithms, and big corporations, people still crave real voices. They want lived experiences. They want someone who's been through the trenches. AI can generate content. It cannot generate wisdom and authenticity. You'll connect with people you've never expected. This surprised me. Strangers will say things like, "I thought I was the only one going through this. You put into words what I couldn't. Thank you for being honest." And those comments, they matter to me, especially in midlife when making new connections isn't always easy. I've also found so many great channels through my comment section that I probably never would have come across if they hadn't posted a comment. You will grow in ways you didn't plan on. YouTube forces you to speak clearly, trust your voice, sit with discomfort. You don't become confident at first. You become confident by showing up scared. Those first few videos were so hard to make, and it took so many hours for me to edit. That growth, that will spill into the rest of your life as well. YouTube can be strangely therapeutic. Talking out loud changes how you process things. Burnout, aging, reinvention. Sometimes you don't realize what you feel until you start scripting a video or you hear yourself say it out loud. That awareness is powerful. You're creating a record of your life. Those videos that you make become a timeline, not just for others, but for you. Your thoughts today won't be the same in 5 years or maybe even 6 months from now. And that evolution is worth capturing. Your life experience becomes your superpower. AI can edit faster, teams can upload more, but no algorithm can replicate your lived experience, your humor, your empathy, your wisdom, and your authenticity. Older audiences are growing rapidly, particularly for travel and life stories and how-to content. Your voice fills a space that AI doesn't serve well. And maybe the biggest reason? Starting a YouTube channel later in life quietly says, I'm not done yet. I'm still learning, still growing, still allowed to try new things. That belief alone can change how you see yourself. So no, you probably shouldn't start a YouTube channel in 2026 if you want it to be easy and have easy money and a quick success or validation. But if you're craving connection and growth and meaning, then yes, by all means, start a YouTube channel. Start it scared, start it imperfect, start it slowly. Because sometimes the thing that looks the hardest from the outside becomes the thing that changes you the most. If this conversation resonated with you, subscribe to the channel. Give the video a like and share it with others. This really helps the channel out and I would appreciate it. This is a space for honest conversations about reinvention, retirement, and starting again later in life. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you on the next one.